Live it, breathe it, love it. All sports, double coverage.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to Double Coverage. Hope you're still living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the great man Sauce. What's happening, bro?
Doma, how are you, mates?
I'm good.
Not a lot, really. Not a lot. We're cruising on into a new week, a big week in sport, and
Massive week.
there's going to be a lot of action, and we're pumped. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about what happened over the weekend because there was quite a bit that went on with the UFC and obviously the finals, football, AFL, another week in NFL, which we'll breeze over that over a few scores. But yeah, it was big. It was big. I tried to watch as much as I could on the weekend. I was pretty busy, had quite a bit on, so it was what I could watch. I did, but nonetheless, we're on to prelims this week for AFL.
We're on to prelims, mate. We're on to prelims. Massive. Yes, it is massive. Global welcome. Adam, welcome in the chat.
How are we, lads? Adam.
It was huge. We'll start with the AFL. I watched all of the Friday night game, and I caught the end of the Saturday game. I was a bit preoccupied on the Saturday game because United were playing. So when you see a team up by 44 points, you don't bother to turn on the AFL when your football side's playing. And I couldn't be bothered running the two screens. But the Friday night game was an absolute belter. And Port Adelaide get the job done by 3 points over the Hawks. Was I shattered? Yep. I'll be I'll be just honest with you, Sauce, and people listening at home. And you might be embarrassed at the fact that I have never barracked so hard for another team over North Melbourne. I can't remember when. I actually cannot remember when the last time I did that. To the point where I threw a bottle at the wall when Port Adelaide won the game. I was out in my garage, mind you. If I did it inside the house, I would have got my head absolutely kicked in from my wife. But I shit you not. I threw a bottle at the wall. Yeah. I'm not ashamed. I hate and despise the Port Adelaide Football Club and Jason Horne-Francis with a passion. and the fact
what's the funny thing? My other North Melbourne friend that's passionate North Melbourne hates Port Adelaide just because of the Horny boy as well.
I don't care. He can win a flag. I don't care if Horne-Francis wins a flag, but North Melbourne has to win one before he does. So then we can say, stick it up, ya. You should have stayed and you could have won a flag. And the other frustrating thing is, and put my bias to the side on I don't like the guy, he is the best player in that team, like post-bye, and it is ridiculous how good he is. Like pre-bye this year, he was pretty good. He was a bit inconsistent. Post-bye, Jason Horne-Francis is better than Butters. He's better than Rosie. He's better than Wines. He's better than Willem Drew. I'm straight out. He's got X Factor sauce, and he pops up. He pops up in the moments you don't want him there. And he didn't have impact at the end of this game because he got injured. He hurt his hammy a bit. So I don't know what that does going into this week's game against Sydney. But he was putting on a show. He was dominating. Absolutely dominating. Is it hard to watch? Yes. But, man, he's good. He's good. He's a good footballer. Hawks fought valiantly to the end. And, Sam Mitchell made the move. They put Sicilia up forward, James Sicily, and it didn't pay off. Well, he kicked two behinds, one hit in the post. Just unlucky. That's just the way it goes. I thought Hawthorn were going to somehow sneak one in. The Wiz Mate, I was going
It's
nuts.
exciting.
The
It's
whiz, man. I was
exciting.
just yelling at the television. The whiz! I was going nuts. And he stepped up in a final in a big game, and for young players like him, Cal Shadia, even Jack Ginnivan played pretty well. So unfortunate for the Hawks, but they got a lot of promising sides going ahead, Source. So your
Yep.
thoughts?
My thoughts, Port Adelaide started obviously very well. Hawthorn fortunate to get back into the game through a couple of fortuitous calls from the umpires, in my opinion, where they got a couple of free kicks and then they were, allowed to play on from a ball that was clearly out of bounds, and they ended up getting a goal from it. So, look, there was that, but then Hawthorn changed after half time. Sammy Mitchell changed a few things. They were able to move the ball a lot freer from the back half through the midfield and get it inside 50 nice and quick. That's where you're seeing the Wizard come to spark in that second half, and they look like, all right, they're within this, and you thought that they were going to run over the top of them, but Port Adelaide fought well, and on their home deck, they got the job done. They look a lot better without Dixon there. I wouldn't be surprised if Dixon's played his last game for the Port Adelaide Football Club.
Yeah, but Georgiadis got hurt at the end of that game as well. If he's going to be hurt.
Okay.
Horn Francis is hurt. Houston's still out. I'm telling you, Port Adelaide's only good for a half of football. I'm sitting there watching that game the whole time, and I had a couple people with me, and they were just like, oh, this is over. This game's done. After they kicked 5-0 in the first quarter, this is it, blah, blah, blah. And I said, man, what are you talking about? Hawthorn potentially win this game. Well, what do you know? What do you know? And I said, well, Port Adelaide are only good for a half of football, mate. So I said, if they don't win the second quarter, they're practically cooked. And they'll fizzle out. And the last 7 minutes of the game was Hawthorn just bombarding them with everything, and they defended for their lives, and they held on. They did nothing. Halfway through the second quarter, Hawthorn won every quarter, I'm pretty sure. It's just because they got a 5-goal head start. You can't give teams 5-goal head starts, mate.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
I mean,
can't give teams 5-goal head starts.
Yeah.
And that's a young Source. That's a young team, and it's unfortunate that they couldn't get the job done. But it's a worry. I look on both sides of the spectrum for like Port Adelaide and Hawthorn. Like you said, Dixon probably plays his last game. Houston looks likely to be leaving the Port Adelaide Football Club at the end of the year. Ollie Wines looks likely to leave the Port Adelaide Football Club at the end of the year. Travis Boak, who's been one of their better players in 2024, is their oldest player on the list, and he's coming towards the end of his career. So if they're not replacing those 4 guys with 4 other guys, there's even talks that Miles Bergman might get lured out because he's a Victorian, sorry. So they're in a bit of trouble if they don't somehow find a way to beat Sydney and win the flag this year. They might have a few guys exiting the football club. On the other side of the spectrum, Hawthorn get Barras and Josh Battle next year. And yeah, that's all I need to say. They get a premiership defender, and Josh Battle's all right. He's not a bad player. He's a handy player. But, you get a premiership defender in Barras, who's a freak. And all the young guys get another 20 games in them. They're going to be pretty freaking good.
Yeah. I mean,
that's the other side of the ball.
I don't know.
Well, you reckon they're going to get figured out?
Well, we'll see what happens.
Okay.
Dom. Look, it's a tough one because they've had that that meteoric rise in this second half of the season. Can they maintain that? Do teams actually figure them out? We'll see. If they kick on next year and then make finals again, well, then it's they're turning it around real quick. But yeah, they're adding some good players. You would all likely signs point towards them, picking up their game and being better. Exactly right.
Of course, Magda mentioned here, Ken Hinkley didn't deserve his $20,000 fine. He said Ginnivan deserved what he copped after the game, and he wants you to give someone a lemon. Adam said he would have given Ken Hinkley $50,000.
He could afford it on that contract.
Well, the other thing too is I was
Saved his job.
the other thing too. I'm sitting there and even my mates were saying to me, "Why do you hate Port Adelaide so much?" And like obviously, there's parts I explained, but I said I'm actually happy for Ken Hinkley because if he goes out in straight sets, which he didn't, but if he doesn't make a grand final and he loses this week to Sydney, which I'm predicting they will, you look at it as if, and we spoke about it last year, it was the biggest fleece ever. And the fact that, not that he fleeced the Port Adelaide Football Club, the fact that he even fleeced Koshy. Koshy's like the big finance guy, and, he fleeced him with his contract. It's the best thing I've ever seen last year. He got Koshy to sign on the dotted line, and then he went out in straight sets last year. So it was just a pisser. But we'll see what happens. What did you think of it? Obviously, talking shit to Ginnivan, and then Sicily stood up for him, and I think
Just like with all of this stuff, it all gets blown out of proportion, like you were just about to mention. But it's just who cares, mate? Just move on. Like they obviously use it as motivation, and if the Hawks got over the line, then they Ginnivan would have looked like a genius, but it gets thrown back in his face. It is what it is. Like it's trash talk. It happens in every single sporting code in the
every
world.
sport. Yeah. And Ginnivan talked shit and he couldn't back it up, like you said. So, yeah. I was okay with it. I don't like Ken Hinkley anyway, but I was happy with it. Who cares? It happens everywhere. The other game was the Lions, 44 points down, source against the Giants. They come back and they win this by 5 points to set up a prelim clash against the Cats.
2 weeks in a row, Giants have choked massively.
You said something. What did you say to me? You sent a message to me about the Giants, and you said, I don't know the quote it. Paraphrasing, you said they played defending a lead when they were 44 points ahead instead of actually playing football. So like it practically stopped 2 weeks in a row when they could have just kept going. So
I don't know. I don't understand the mentality. It just happened to you the week before, and you've done the exact same thing the next week. It just baffles me. You made the two. There you go, and you're out in straight sets. It was such a great season. Finished top 4, and bang bang, you're out.
And your Lions, mate, they just roll it in.
Lions are still alive, and they're still alive. I picked them at the start of the season to win the flag. So, hey, I could look like an absolute wizard, but if they make the big dance and I fall one short, I won't be that upset about that. But DSK says on Instagram, how clutch were those last 2 goals by Big Joey D? I agree. That was pretty clutch. Someone said a bit of a dubious call at the end there. But nonetheless, still had to go back and slot it on the boundary. And then the other one, obviously not known for his set shots, even though what should be a regulation shot for a guy that's getting paid that type of money, let's be honest. But for Joey D, sometimes it isn't. But he gets the job done. And, at that moment, there is obviously a lot more pressure on the kick as well. So, there's that to ride with it, as well as the skill factor, and get, slots them through and brings Brisbane home and cool, calm, and collected. And I had this feeling about it, when Brisbane was coming back, that they were going to get over the line. I mean, they did it, a few times this season, and they've got that belief. And I mean, maybe it's the year. Maybe it is the year. They play good. They play a good brand of football when they got it going. They need to stop giving teams such big leads. But yeah, it was a great game. It was a great game. A team not giving up and fighting right to the end, and then getting the result and making a prelim, another one.
Yeah, let's get to
They have to win a flag. They've got to win a flag, because if they go through all these prelims, they've been to grand finals, and they don't get one over the line, that's disappointing.
DSK just asked you, source on Instagram, do you think with us losing, that being Brisbane, the grand final last year, and then with the season we've had, that we have the mentality to go one more this year? And that's what Saucy just was mentioning DSK. Like, you can't make all these prelims and grannies and not win anything.
The adversity makes you stronger, and then at some point you break through that adversity, and that's where it all becomes worth it. So
they had the upper
maybe
hand.
this is the year.
They had the upper hand preseason, mate. The Vegas trip.
We wrote them up halfway through the season, and then the Vegas trip, it all got blown out of proportion. Once again, another thing that got blown out of proportion by the media. This is why you cannot believe what these lemons say.
Regardless if they win or lose, if they lose this week or they make it to the grand final, lose in the granny or win the grand final, tell you where they'll be going straight back to in 2024. That's right, Magda. What happens in Vegas stays. They'll be going straight back there. Don't you worry about that. They'll be wearing their cowboy hats. Don't you worry. I'm telling you. If that's what it takes to win a flag, every team should be going to Vegas in the offseason. That's team bonding at its best. It's better than the Adelaide camp, I'll tell you that much. So from a few years back, that tore the club apart. And questionable some of the things the Brisbane Lions players did on that trip actually divided the club. But you know what? In essence, it brought them together. And they're in another prelim. Oh, geez. I'll tell you what, the shit that happens in AFL, NRL, oh my days. Unbelievable.
Wasn't there that one guy in NRL one time where he was pissing into his own mouth, and then there was another guy he was getting his balls licked by the dog or something?
Oh, there's just some of the stupidest shit. Oh, even like the Josh Addo-Carr stuff. Like, oh my God. Like, oh, that's hilarious. I don't know if you saw the photo going around of Addo-Carr with the bag in his mouth. Like, come on, man. And he's just... Why are you taking photos of his shit? Like, what are you doing? Why are they taking photos? All it takes is one person just to leak it to the media.
Yeah, it happens. Every off-season it happens, right?
What are you idiots doing? Just stop. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's get to this week's game. Swans versus Port.
I'm going for the Swans.
I'm going Swans. I've never wanted the Swans.
Swans by 3 goals.
Ooh. I reckon it's either a blowout or 8 points, Swans. So, the Saturday game at 5:15, Geelong versus Brisbane.
Brisbane.
It's on the Lions.
Got to.
I don't know. I just think we might see Sydney versus
40
Geelong
plus.
again.
He's talking for about pick it. I gotta go. I can't not pick the Lions, even though I might think maybe Geelong.
I'm going the Cats.
I think it's a 50-50 game. I really do think it's a 50-50 game.
I'm going the Cats.
It's going to be a battle of the midfield. It's going to be who can win that midfield battle, who can, obviously win the clearances. Because both teams' forward lines have the capability to kick great scores. So it's going to be the battle of the midfields that's going to see who wins the game. So I'm going Lions. Got to go Lions.
I'm going Cats, just to be different. Doma back in John Longmire. 100%. I want the Swans winning. 100%. All right. We look forward to those.
What about Port Adelaide? You don't want Port to win? Sure.
Nah. I'll be barracking. I honestly should set up a camera on me when I watch these games against Port Adelaide. You guys would just be pissing yourself. The week before, you would have just seen me with my legs kicked up, popcorn. When Geelong bolted them by 80 points, I was like a pig in shit. I was so happy. I was like, this is the best thing I've ever seen. And then I wish I had a camera on me on Friday night. I was just losing the plot. I was getting out of my seat, mate. Like the whiz things I was doing, I was losing the plot. Like actually going nuts. But I want the Swans to win. And if they don't, it's okay because North's going to get Luke Parker anyway. So it's a win-win situation for North Melbourne. That's how I look at it. I don't really care. We're not in the finals. Let's get to the EPL. Let's start. Man United get the 3-0 win over Southampton. Source, I don't know if you saw our game. Did you catch ours?
Yes. I did. I did. I missed the first bit, and
Well,
then
you
I
missed the
caught.
first 30 minutes, and
Yeah, I
then you
did.
messaged me and you go, "Fuck, Doma, you guys are doing pretty well." And I said, "No, Sauce, go."
I
And then you
caught.
sent me the
I turned it
momentum
on when it was
chart,
2-0. Yeah.
bro. How funny was it when I said the first 31 minutes we were shit, and you looked up the momentum chart, and the first 31 minutes it was just white for Southampton,
I
and you're
think
like,
you just
"Oh,
went bang bang, kick two
yeah." Well,
goals.
it took. Honestly, I was embarrassed as a United fan. In that first 31 minutes, I could not honestly could not believe what I was watching. If that was Arsenal, Liverpool, City, bro, we're down 3 goals, maybe even 4 goals. The mistakes, the passing errors, it was deplorable against Southampton, who are rubbish. And then all it took was a penalty that we gave away, and Andre Onana made a save. He saved the penalty, and all of a sudden, the whole team went, maybe we should play football now. And then a minute and a half later, we scored. And then 3 minutes after that, we scored again. And then the
Rashford
game
goal
was
was
fixed.
really nice. But what?
Yeah.
Can I just ask, where has that been?
That's a
That
hair.
was like
Bruno Fernandes tweeted out, he goes, "Oh, uh, what did he say? New hair, what did he say? Old hairstyle, old Rashford or some shit." Like, why is it? I'm with you, Source. Where the freaking hell has this shit been all the time? I don't know. I'm not going to nitpick because I can nitpick a lot of problems with that United team from Saturday and the way that the team started. And the club came out and said that it was a tactical decision to start Garnacho on the bench. And I don't know if you saw what Garnacho did over the social medias, mate, based off of Ronaldo's comment on Ten Hag. I think he either retweeted or liked the comment or the post. And yeah, I don't think that sits too well with Ten Hag. But they were adamant that he was on the bench for a tactical reason. I don't know what the tactical reason is. Southampton shit. So you don't need tactics to beat them. You just put the team on the park and you win. Like that's pretty much it, isn't it? Like
I tell you what, he's petty, isn't he?
yeah,
He's
he is.
petty.
But anyway, we'll see what happens. Start Ahmad, says Magda. Start Garnacho. Yeah, I agree. And bring back Pogba. I don't think so because he's a drug cheat and that's why he's banned at the moment. Nacho scored. Garnacho, yeah, he did. He scored the third goal. All right, so 3-0 win there. Man City beat Brentford 2-1. Nottingham defeated Liverpool 1-0. I don't know if you caught this because
I
you
caught the
said you were
first
watching.
half.
Yeah, you were watching some midnight games. So what happened?
I caught the first half. It was one of those situations where, you know, in the first half, Liverpool wasn't really in their rhythm. They didn't create a hell of a lot. Nottingham kept them well. In the second half, Liverpool tried to turned up the heat, but you keep a team in the game, and they're going to get a chance or two at some point. And Nottingham took their chance and then just defended the hell. Just parked the bus and held on for dear life and got the result. And it's a pretty crazy result, if you ask me, with the amount of ball possession and time in the forward third for Liverpool that they had, that they weren't able to find an equaliser or find a goal to go 1-0 up. But just goes to show nothing's ever a certainty. I think they were $1.20 favourites, Dom, to win pre-game. So yeah, Arnie
You
Slot
be
not realizing it's not all so easy in the Premier League.
well, you'd be fuming as a Liverpool fan as you should be, but like Arnie Slot hasn't copped a goal in the first 3 games. They've scored 7 or 8 or whatever they'd put past teams. They were +7, and they lose their first game at home
Yeah,
to
at home's
Nottingham.
the
To
bad thing
Nottingham. That's the
as
part.
well.
They lost at home to Nottingham. They haven't conceded 1 goal the whole season. Relax, Magda. Come on, man.
Relax.
Hey, we'll do a straight swap. You give us Arnie, and you can have Ten Hag. There you go. That's a good swap. West Ham, Fulham 1-1 draw. Crystal Palace, Leicester 2-2 draw. Brighton, Ipswich 0-0 draw. Aston Villa defeat Everton 3-2. Chelsea defeat Bournemouth 1-0. Arsenal defeat Tottenham 1-0. And Newcastle defeat Wolves 2-1. Yes, what were you going to say?
Everton capitulation again. 2 weeks in a row, or they were 2 goals up. I think they were up, and or they were up 2-1. They were up 2-1. Calvert-Lewin missed a chance to put it up 3-1. 4 minutes later, Aston Villa go 2-2, and then Aston Villa go up 3-2 and then take all 3 points. Arsenal defended very well.
Yeah.
Defended very well. We didn't have our best team on the park. Obviously, Odegaard got injured on international break, so he wasn't there. But nonetheless, our defense was phenomenal. We're always, dangerous from set pieces, and then that's where we got the goal in the end. Look, good to get the 3 points, and we move on to this week, which is a massive fixture against Manchester City.
Wow. Let's get to this week's games then. I didn't know you were playing City. Let's get them. Here we are. Is this the opening game? No, it's not the opening. West Ham Chelsea opens the round. We've got Villa Wolves, Fulham Newcastle, Leicester Everton, Liverpool Bournemouth, Southampton Ipswich, Tottenham Brentford. United's got a Sunday morning 2:30 game. That's a disgrace. Yuck. Brighton Nottingham, and then Monday morning 1:30 City versus Arsenal. Wow.
Which, like a lemon, I'll probably be awake watching it, but
I'll probably have to get up and watch it as well, man. It'd be stupid not to watch it. So, big games there. Also, Champions League is back this week. Source.
Champions League is back.
New format.
Yes. Familiarize us with the new format. Do you understand how it works?
Put me on the spot.
Nah.
Play 8 games?
Yeah, 8 games. And there's a table. There's 2 tables. Table A, table B.
And it just goes and crosses over and does shit. They use stupid things like pot this and this pot and that pot, mate. They should have just made it simple. 2 tables, 1 plays. It should be 1 versus 8 from the second table, 1 versus 8 from the other table, and then 2 versus 7, and so on and so forth. And then 5 versus 6. That's how they should have done it. Or 4 versus 5 in each table. Across. They cross. So you have the same matchup as if it's one table, but you just go the 1 versus the 8 from the other one. Yeah, that's how they should have done it.
I understand.
Pot B and pot D and pot this and smoke pot and blow.
Yeah, but it's all because there's more actual games now.
Yeah, there is more games. But if they're going to take the top 8 teams anyway, whatever the hell they're going to do, then that's how you should have done it. So, or you could have even, I don't know.
Well, it's teams up to 16, and the teams all the way down to 16. You have a chance to you could qualify for. I think they go down to Europa or something like that.
I'm not sure how it works. Anyway, the games. I'll just get some of the key games. We've got Juventus PSV, AC Milan Liverpool. Bayern play Dinamo Zagreb, Real Madrid Stuttgart, Man City Inter, PSG Girona. It's a good game. Arsenal Atalanta, Monaco Barcelona, and Atletico versus Leipzig. I think should be in here. Leverkusen, they play Feyenoord. It'll be interesting to see how Leverkusen goes with Xabi Alonso in the Champions League. It'll be interesting. Very, very interesting. All right. That's it for football source. Close that one up. And, of course, the title of the show, Piastri in P1, because what a race.
What a race. Crazy race. Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Does it ever fail to give us some action, this track? I mean,
it's
year after year, it delivers, and it delivered against on the weekend, and it was a crazy race. Doma, what happened?
What happened was I can't remember who was on pole. Leclerc was on pole. Ferrari
Leclerc,
on pole again.
two Ferraris, I think, were they up there?
No, it was Leclerc and Piastri, but then Piastri, Leclerc burned away. Norris started in 15th in this race. He struggled in qualifying. He ended up finishing 4th. Valiant drive by him. He should have finished in 7th, mind you, Lando Norris. And he still would have gained points on Max Verstappen. But Max Verstappen got a bit of a reprieve because he should have finished in 8th. So, he would have finished in 7th and Norris would have finished in 6th. So he got a bit of a reprieve. So he finished with 10 points instead of 6, Max Verstappen. Lando makes up 3 points because he had the fastest lap on him. So now the lead is 59 points between Lando and Max. Piastri 25 points in that one with the win. Leclerc, I think Piastri is 77 points behind him now, or 87 points, and then Leclerc's 91 points. They can still win, mathematically speaking. They can still win the World Championship. Piastri drove unbelievably. Leclerc was in front for a fair chunk after the first pit. Piastri made a massive move. Took him, I think it was around lap 30, and then defended for about 21 laps, which was unbelievable. Gets the job done. Leclerc in second, and Russell gets elevated, Norris and Verstappen. The reason why I say they get elevated, Sergio Perez was in third, and Carlos Sainz was in fourth. And with 4 laps left, Sainz was catching up because the top 3, Piastri, Leclerc, and Perez, were fighting with each other. And when you fight and you're braking and you're like cutting people off to try and hold your position, the guy mathematically behind that battle will catch up because they're losing time. And Carlos Sainz caught up all the way that he was able to overtake Sergio Perez. And I don't understand why, Source, after he overtook Perez and then went to overtake Leclerc in the same motion. I don't understand why. And as you mentioned last week on the show, if you don't play your cards right on this track, more than likely you're going to cost yourself the race. And by doing that, he lost grip, was out of position, and he came across, I think Perez was in the blind spot. Anyway, he clips Perez, and they both go slamming into the wall, completely destroy the cars. They're out of the race.
I was losing it.
The race ends on a virtual safety car, and Sainz could have got the points that were needed for Ferrari. So if Sainz finishes where he finishes, then Ferrari would have actually been leading the constructors, funnily enough. But yeah, Piastri gets the job done. He drove so well. A lot of criticism, obviously, on the young Australian about team orders and stuff. And they said, all the other stuff, how he gave the spot up, and when Lando gave the spot up when he won his last race and all that shit. And he said he wasn't deserving on it. And, Gunter Steiner interviewed him after the race, and he goes, it was so well-deserved. He goes, you put any of your doubters to bed, pretty much. He goes, you raced for 21 laps defending a lead. And he said, well, the one comment which was amazing, he goes, this is all coming from a driver that's in his second season in F1 Source. So it's all looking up. The other crazy thing is BBC read out this crazy stat, and he said in the last 7 races, if you had to do a World Championship leaderboard, Oscar Piastri is actually on top based off the last 7 races because he's been finishing really well. He hasn't won everything, but because he finishes in the top 3, he'd actually be leading the World Championship. It's not out of reach unless there's crashes and Verstappen gets positions elevated like he does in this race. He was 77 seconds, mind you, ladies and gentlemen, off the pace. I don't think
what is going on there.
It's
at Red
cooked.
Bull?
It's over. I reckon it's over. It's over.
I really think so. It could be as well. I think
I said something really interesting to you over the weekend, and looking at the last race of the season, I was saying to Source, in Abu Dhabi, we potentially could have Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, and Max Verstappen all driving to win the World Championship. The way that it's lining up.
Well, all I know is Red Bull needs to find some pace quick, or else that 59-point lead is going to evaporate.
They're cool. They're already
For
down. Like
Verstappen.
McLaren's leading the World Championship. The Constructors Championship now as well. So they're cooked there. They were in front by a mile. Now they're behind. Charles at Ferrari will be second driver at Ferrari, and Lewis comes next season. Yeah, that's all right, mate. I'm telling you, the way that the Ferraris are moving at the moment, they're I don't know, they're looking pretty good. There is a race this week, Source, and it is the Singapore Grand Prix, which you have been to in the past. Yes, you've been to Singapore Grand Prix before?
No, I haven't been.
Oh, you've been to Singapore. I thought you've been.
I've been to Singapore. I would like to. My brother's been to Singapore Grand Prix. He said it's really good. It's at night. It's a night.
Yeah, it's a night one. That is on Sunday, Source, at 10 p.m. Great time. 10 p.m. race at the Marina Bay Street Circuit. And it's all lining up for a big finish. I think there's another sprint race in here somewhere as well. So there's more points on offer, Source, with sprint races. So Maxi Boy is in a bit of trouble.
It looks like, hey, Doma, you know what? We can't complain. As F1 fans, this is what we want. We want a tight season. We don't want a whitewash season like we've had in the past. It makes it no fun. So, yeah, look, this just makes it every race, from here on out is exciting. How many is left, Doma? Is there, did you say? 7 races. And this week there's a race this week.
Pardon?
Is the race this week?
Yeah, Singapore on Sunday. Yeah. So 10 p.m. Tune in. We just had some busy weekends, so we didn't get a chance to do off the grid. But if we're both available this week, we might tune in for that one because it's getting juicy. Especially if Max is not on pole.
Yeah, off the grid, more likely this week. Just last week I was cooked.
Yeah, no worries, mate. All good. Makes sense. Yeah, a bit on. All right, let's get to the NFL because the games finished up today, actually, for the last round. But Bills defeated the Dolphins. Now, I don't know. We spoke about you gave a lemon on this show last year to the doctors at the Miami Dolphins for letting Tua play. And what we said that his career could be done if he gets another concussion after he copped 2 in 2 weeks. And he copped his concussion in the first week, Source. And he's in a lot of trouble. He's probably not going to return for the rest of the season. So they've bottled it there.
Look, it's not looking good. But he doesn't help himself. I'm not sure if you've seen how he, he sort of didn't slide, feet first, and he got the concussion. So there's that part too. You need to understand, you can't take the head knocks. Like, you can't. And, you're in an era in the NFL where they're doing everything they can to protect the quarterbacks. So, he's got to protect himself better. And yeah, look, I said he could be out for a month, but he might not return.
I just reckon he could be out for the season.
I think they just leave him go for the season, and
stop it.
I've seen a meme today. He's not. Yeah, I seen a where they put the Dolphins jersey over the top of the player. Yeah, well, that's what was out.
Get him in. Get him in
on the grapevine. Matty Cam says TB12 to Miami.
Get him in. Well, Matty Cam's usually.
Imagine he makes a return.
Are you talking shit, Matty? Because you're usually pretty good with all this stuff. And if you're going to get my hopes up, I'm a Dolphins fan. So if you get my hopes up, I know he lives there. I know. Just imagine he's throwing the ball to Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Like, he actually has proper weapons too. Like, so I don't know. It's not going to happen. It'd be nice.
If you're Miami, you make the call, surely.
I'd make the call. Who's throwing the ball at the moment? Let's have a look. Fuck. Who's throwing the ball, yo? Field goal, extra point, touchdown, Sanders. I don't know. Maddie, can you tell me who's the QB at the moment for us? Lineups. Maddie will tell us. All right, let's get to the rest of the results. Maddie will tell us. He's the NFL guru. Washington defeated the Giants 21-18. Jets 24-17 over the Titans. Seahawks defeat the Patriots 23-20. 49ers lose to the Vikings 23-17. Cleveland defeat Jacksonville 18-13. Packers over Colts 16-10. Buccaneers over Lions 20-16. New Orleans 44-19 over the Cowboys. That was an embarrassment. The Chargers defeat the Panthers 26-3, 100%. Raiders defeat Ravens 26-23. Cardinals defeat Rams 41-10. Chiefs beat the Bengals 26-25. Pittsburgh over the Broncos 13-6. Texans over Bears 19-13. And today's game was Eagles lose to the Falcons 22-21.
Eagles lost to the Falcons.
Yeah.
Jeez, I didn't even see that.
Tannehill says Matty doesn't know. Fitzpatrick to come back for the Dolphins in his short shorts. Well, you might as well just get Brady then out of retirement.
Might as well just get Tim Tebow.
Oh. Honestly, if you're going to go get guys like that to come QB in your team, you might as well actually just go get Brady. You would, wouldn't you?
You make the call. You'd be top of the list.
And get Gronk. Gronk will come back. I show
Gronk
speed.
Would only come back for TB.
I show speed. He's quick. He said he's quicker than Tyreek Hill. He actually did. Pace. He challenged him to a race. And he didn't accept. So he reckons he's quicker than him now. All right. Our games this week. Jets, Patriots, Browns, Giants, Colts, Bears, Vikings, Texans, Saints, Eagles, Steelers, Chargers, Buccaneers, Broncos, Titans, Packers, Raiders, Panthers, Seahawks, Dolphins, Cardinals, Lions, Cowboys, Ravens. That's a ripper. Rams, 49ers is a ripper. Kansas City versus the Falcons. And the last game. Last two games, Bills, Jags, and Bengals, Commanders. There you go. Over to you, Sauce, UFC.
UFC over the weekend, 306 went past. I'll run through the results. You had the prelims. Obviously, they had the early prelims where our boy Raul Rosas Jr. got the win in a decision victory. So he adds another win to his record. He's 10-1. Prelim card, you had Joshua Van defeating Edgar Chairez, third round decision in the flyweight. Women's strawweight, you had Ketlin Sousa defeating Yasmin Yarugi with a submission in the first round. Lightweight division, you had Ignacio Bamogares, the Chilean, knocking out Manuel Torres in the first round. The women bantamweight, you had Norma Dermott with a decision victory over Irene Aldana. Onto the main card, Ronaldo C. Rodriguez, as his name, Ronaldo Rodriguez, defeats Ode Osborne with a third round decision. Then you got Esteban Ribovics defeats Daniel Zilhuber. I'm not sure if you remember what I said last week when I was picking the main card and said, I'm going to pick Esteban just because he's named after the F1 driver. And you know what, Doma? He absolutely dominated this fight. And if you listen to me, he was like a $2.50 underdog. So, anyone who will listen to that and put some money on it, you're welcome, because my logic I had no clue about the fight whatsoever, but sometimes your dumb logic
Esteban
works.
Well done, Esteban.
Then you had Diego Lopez defeated Brian Ortega. I called that one. I thought, I said, is Valentina Shevchenko sort of done? Well, she showed a vintage Valentina Shevchenko performance. She was just dominant, defeated Alexa Grasso, absolute domination over the field 5 rounds. And then in the main event, Merab Divishvili defeated Sean O'Malley, giving me his second loss. Absolutely dominated him. Look, Sean has a lot of work to do. If he's going to get back to that stage and challenge these guys that have elite grappling, he's got a lot of work to do because he got taken down and he was absolutely pathetic on the floor. So, look, it's going to be an interesting to see what happens in that division now. Does Merab dominate it? You've got Umar there, who's could potentially come and challenge as well. Nurmagomedov, that is, Umar Nurmagomedov. So, look, let's see. Merab was just it was a domination. It was literally, there's no other way to put it. He absolutely slapped him.
You also kissed him too on the shoulder.
Yeah, it was hilarious. It's taking the piss. So, look, 304.6 at the Sphere. The spectacle looked amazing. The spectacle of it looked amazing. The crowd itself wasn't like, it's not that same vibe as a hyped up UFC crowd in another area in Vegas.
Someone was saying, I forget his name. He used to fight and then he does a bit of comedy. Brian. Anyway, he said that the spectacle was amazing, but the card put with that spectacle was terrible. He said outside the main event and the co-main event, he said the card was trash. He said to do something at the Sphere as Brendan Schaub. That's it, Adam. Yeah. He used to fight, and he said it was a rubbish card. He goes, if you have to sell the pay-per-view on that card, he goes, it's the biggest letdown. He goes, you're doing it at the biggest venue. It's meant to be the biggest UFC card ever, and that's what they produced as a card. Well, no, that was his comment.
It's probably fair. A little bit fair. Anyway,
well, those top two fights really, I get where he's coming from.
There's no event this weekend to break, so we'll review. We'll go over the next one next week, the fight night. But there's nothing on this weekend. I'm sure there's something. There may be, PFL. There may be one championship. There may be BKFC. Something. If you want some sort of combat sports, I'm sure there'll be something out there. There'll be some boxing or whatever. So make sure you tune in and get your combat sports fix.
Shout out to Tyson Beck as well. Was that the fight? Which is crazy. He was at the Sphere, mate.
Oh, he was there?
He was there. He put a picture up on his Facebook account, which was mental. Absolutely mental. So, yeah, if anyone's going to give us a first-hand account of how good it was or how shit it was, well, maybe I'll get in contact with him and see if he'll give me some quotes that I can read out on the show next week. I can use live on air. One and done, says Matty. Yeah, it cost $20 million. We spoke about it last week. Yeah, it's a one and done event. Dana White was saying. We'll get to that right now, Magda. Thank you. Melbourne Card Fair in North Melbourne this Sunday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. There you go. AFL Legends source. There's a card show this weekend. Whoop. They dropped prices from 5-6K down to 1K as they couldn't sell. I think they took a loss on the tickets for the first time ever. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Where is the card messiah? We haven't seen him for a while. Don't worry, I've got to get in contact with that guy. He's okay. He pops up when you least expect it, Magda. The messiah. Don't worry.
Just pops his head up.
He pops up. He rears his head. He comes up. Anyway, much happening in the hobby source. I know, Magda, you sent me a clip of apparently the triple Olympic Auto 101 was on eBay. If you've got the listing, can you put it in the chat? Because I was trying to find it on eBay. Couldn't find it anywhere. So apparently some guy was like the highest bidder.
I don't know if it's been pulled. Does anyone know if that's true? Has it been pulled? The triple auto, Curry, LeBron, and Durant from that Topps made $7 million off selling packs from?
Yeah, no idea.
I don't think that's legit, man.
No, you can't find. I don't think it's legit. John Jones said probably last fight against Miocic. He reckons 309 as well. Source is done. So
Fair enough. At least we get to see him one more time.
yeah,
And yeah, it firms up to be a massive fight. But yeah, let's just wait and see, mate. Oh, I believe. Oh, you know what? I believe he's in the ring when I see him in the ring.
correct.
In the cage.
Well, he got there for Cyril Gahn and then he got hurt. So
yeah.
Here we go. What do we got? Prism Deca Source. Deca Basketball. Have a look at this. Debut edition. Celebrate the legacy of Prism Basketball with an array of stunning parallels. So you just chuck in old stuff, new stuff, junk stuff, shit stuff, amazing stuff.
Well, they're
which is
losing
from
the
first
they're losing
set.
the license, so they might have like 15 different variants of Prism.
There you go, mate. Look, this right here. Look at this. Look, it's been shit for the last 10 years, so you might as well just go back and carry the same design as 2012-13. Well, when it was actually good. So
It actually had on-card autos.
there you go. Prism parallels for approximately 1 per hobby box. Or 10 per box. Okay. What? Approximately 1 per hobby pack. Or 10 per box. Sorry. Apologies. In 2012-13, cards had just 3 levels of parallel. This time, that number is bigger. Of course it is. And more colorful. Of course it is. Blue, orange, and black gold are among colors available in hobby. No surprise. Let's read that back, Source. In 2012-13 Prisms, cards had just 3 levels of parallels. Do you want me to read that one more time? 2012-13
It actually made a parallel rare.
Just 3 levels of parallels. That's mental, man. But they're happy that it's bigger and badder and more colorful than ever. Anyway, here's a Asad Thompson rookie. Signatures carry the similar look as the base set. Signers are a mix of vets, rookies, and retired stars. Colored base versions of these are numbered to 49 or less, and it's all sticker. I made that up. They didn't say that. I'm just telling you it's all sticker. There's Luke of the Don.
You're not wrong.
Standard inserts are 3 per box. Downtown bound, finalists, and most valuable players all make the jump over from the first set. Giannis. Decade of dominance and brilliance are the new ones. But cards per pack, hobby 10, packs per box 10, boxes per case in a hobby 10. Set size is 300 cards, and it releases on the 12th of September, so it is out now. 2 autos, 3 inserts, 10 Prism parallels in a hobby box.
Does it have the price of the box there?
It's usually down here. It's usually right in here, but it's not. You might have to look that up, Source. Yeah, you might have to look that one up for me. Do you want to look at the autos? Inserts, autos? Who have we got? Luke of the Don, Stephen Curry. That's nice. Banchero, Davis. It's just going to be stock standard. Ja Morant. Surely, is there? There's no Wemby in this, so because there's no Wemby, so you just be trying to get inserts. Brilliant. Surely there's Wemby. There he is, of course. There he is. If you're interested,
no autos in there.
Magda, this has fired me up, Donna. I'm getting a water. Mate, that's all they make now, Magda. It's stickers. Don't get upset. Why not make a pony Wemby rookie while he's riding a pony 101 Color Blast? They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, the reason why they've obviously done more parallels is because, it means more Wemby's in there, which means more stacked product. So people are going to chase that, the Wemby's hits. But I just wonder, Dom, and this is my, question, all this, they increase all their parallels because, obviously Wemby rookie cards, these are his, as much as you want to say, that Fanatics can do something when they get the license, but it still won't be his rookie cards, right?
Talk shit,
So
Fanatics.
So
They just talk
they're
rubbish,
just
man. That's all they do is just talk shit.
Panini's, going to keep up the printers, up them, print out as many Wemby different variations as they can. And I just wonder in the future, do any of these actually, maintain their value when there's so many of them out there? Like, does it actually become a point where it's like, is that truly collectible, or would you still rather just buy like a second year Wemby auto?
Surely, it's just going to go down. All this stuff is modern junk wax. That's all it's going to be. The amount of shit that there is out there now.
Well, that's what I think too.
I reckon it's just trash.
As I've mentioned numerous times on this show, I think that the main thing to collect, that is the best thing to collect, is autos. But outside of that, you can collect your little variants and other things, and that never stops me from buying other cards. But to collect, but autos are the most fun thing to collect in the hobby.
Yeah, 100%.
Autos and patch cards, but although patch autos, but even though not nowadays patches. Some of the stuff that we showed last week, Domo. The upper deck stuff and how they used to make it back then was quality.
100%. But the other thing too is like all these parallels, they're not going to hold value like PMGs did in the past. You know what I mean? They're actually rare. You know what I mean? They're like rare. But that's my comparison. What are people going to say about these cards in 5 years' time, for example? When you're going back, like you can go back to Upper Deck and go, there's they had what's-it-called at Upper Deck. I've gone blank. Oh my god, they had like SP game used, where everything was game used. That like it's SP game. How good is that? Like they had SP authentic. They had all these cards, and they were like limited, and there's on-card autos, and everything's game worn and stuff like that. And then what are you going to come back to? Napkin patches now, and everything's like a sticker. Nothing's game worn. Like you said last week when you brought up those card source, those Upper Deck cards, they were actually telling you which All-Star game that the patches were worn in. You don't get any of that stuff now. It just says it's officially licensed. Like it doesn't give you anything. Like all the parallels, like comparing it like to the PMGs, as I said, like there's a finite amount of PMGs. You go look at Panini and what they've done. You got a red in the Prism. You got a red in Spectra. You got the same colors, all the colors of the rainbow. Like they're rainbowing everything in every product. So the PMGs were there in the product. That's it. Once a year. Can you get it? Green, red. Some had blue, I'm pretty sure. Like you don't get it in that product. That's it. They didn't do PMGs for 15, 20 basketball products. Oh, that was still the best. That's still the best thing they've ever done. And the fact that people got sucked into that shit. I still can't believe
for the new Wemby non-auto auto.
I actually can't believe people went get like bananas over that.
No one went bananas over it, Dom. It was just these stupid influencers and people, box breakers, trying to fucking pump it up to people to say, it's good to buy into the breaks.
We had two people come into our live chat and they're defending it.
Yes, I know. I remember. And it was mate, get out of here.
I was just like, what are you doing? Save your money.
Giving them lemons.
Like, it's just ridiculous. Anyway, this is the last story I pretty much have. And I've actually got good news for people. And I didn't let anyone know, Sauce, you knew about this, but I actually sent cards off for grading and I've got my sub back. So I'll be able to show you straight after this story, which is probably the biggest story in sports. Are we surprised? I'll share this. Sorry, share this tab. Disney and Marvel trading cards coming from Topps. Oh, who would have thought?
There you go. They're on the Disney Marvel bandwagon.
I can't wait, mate. There's going to be a Fanatics rep that's going to go to Disneyland and cut a patch out of Mickey Mouse's costume and put in the cards. I can't wait. It's going to be the best. The real Mickey Mouse. They might actually get the Mickey Mouse from Disneyland to sign the cards, so we get no more facsimiles. Just imagine if they had that. Topps Disney 100, and there was actually Mickey Mouse's auto signed by Mickey Mouse from the park, and Buzz Lightyear and Woody, like the real ones, like the actually real source. The giant mouse, he's actually real. So, jeez, I tell you, they've got Disney, Marvel, Disney, Marvel, and Pixar. It's a global deal that marks a big expansion from Topps existing deals with Disney consumer products, including Star Wars. Wow. We're thrilled to officially expand our relationship with Topps. Oh, man, whatever. Kicks off in early 2025. They've got everything. Let's be honest. They're getting absolutely everything, Source.
But you know what?
Yeah.
The thing is, the way Disney and Marvel, Disney owns Marvel anyway. So the way Disney does their licensing with cards, they don't tie themselves into a supplier because, they've obviously, you've got the Disney, Weiss, Schwartz Disney, you've got the Kakao Disney, now you're going to have the Topps Disney. So they sell to everyone. They don't, exclusive their license. What about the Coles builders?
Hey, you know who else has the right source? Kakao, Topps. You
Yes.
forgot the biggest company.
I know.
Who is it?
Woolies.
Woolies.
Woolworths. Has anyone seen these? The Woolworths.
Here they are. I've actually got some here. I got plenty of them. And they're rare because the Coles builders are rare. These are pack fresh sauce. Literally open a pack fresh. Look at these. Miles Morales, Shuri, Black Panther. These are limited to. You can't get the. Listen, if you're in the United States, you can't get these cards.
You can't get these cards only in Australia.
That's it. Where's the folder? I got the folder here. Let me get the folder. This is the good thing. You start collecting all this stuff for your son, for Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., and you collect these things. And the best thing is there's doubles. So I collect for my son in the folder, and then I'm going to be like the bloke that was in the Coles Builders page. I'll just open packs and I can go send them to grade. It's a win-win.
You've got them back?
Yes, that's actually what I sent, Source. I actually sent 4 cards to grade from Woolies. Well, I didn't send this guy because he went. The guy that played Kane, he got put up, almost went to jail. So we got to be careful for the resale value, Source. You got to be careful with that stuff because you don't want the market to tank for the Kane cards. You got to go for the upper echelon markets. I'll tell you, it's smart. The Americans.
Did he put a gun in front of the camera or something? Did he?
Yeah, no, that's Ja Morant. That's in the American market. So this is the Australian market. Americans can't get these cards. So I went and graded some. I actually did.
You're cornering the market
I cornered the market.
Woolies Disney
the
cards.
folders are good. Look at this. I cornered the market source. Now listen, I didn't go with your conventional grading company. I'm serious. I didn't. Beckett did the Coles builders, and I wasn't going to give Beckett the time of day. Was I going to go PSA? No. SGC? No. I even thought I didn't go to CGA here in Australia. I even thought about going to Renmark. Putting my cards in a screw down.
Who did you go with?
I've ordered all of them.
It's not HGA.
HGA, are they still in business?
Apparently.
No. I went to the greatest grading company. I've actually got them to send me promotional material. This is actually from Woolies themselves. Source. The Armada Snaplock bags. How good's this? From Woolies. And I sent 4 cards to be graded. They've been slabbed. They even wrote the description of the card for me from Woolies. I swear to God, you can go to Woolies right now and get your cards graded. I'm being serious. This was the first one. This is Woolworths Disney. Look at this. Look at this. They even titled it correctly. The Rock. 9.5. Right here. That's The Rock. Here's the second one, Sauce.
New grading company. Hey, at least
that was a 9.5, mind you.
So how? So that's obviously
Rock. I've got the first graded Woolies The Rock card on the market. 9.5. Here's the second one. First ever graded 8. I got an 8 on this. The only problem with Woolies, they don't specify the edging and the centering and stuff, but I can see a few blemishes. I should have used.
Doesn't matter. PSA doesn't fucking specify shit, and people pay billions of
Woolies
dollars
are a bit stricter, Source. Woolies actually care about the quality. It looks like when it comes to their grading.
They're more stringent.
This came back at 8. Here it is.
The Mandalorian.
Nah, that's an error card, Source. It's not the Mandalorian. It's actually a Pedro Pascal rookie. Graded 8. There you go. That is the Rock animation rookie card, mind you. These are all rookies. I went with the rookies. This one here, I've never seen his card before. This only got a 2.5. And it might be the fact that the last movie that they did was shit. So that's probably why it came back at 2.5. Here it is. And don't tell me Deadpool Wolverine was good, ladies and gentlemen. It was trash. So that's why I got a 2.5. And this is a Woolies Hugh Jackman rookie. Here you go. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine rookie. And the last one, I was actually surprised because I actually think the grader at Woolies must listen to this podcast. When it came to, I thought, you know what, I'm in for a treat here. When you're a young kid, a young fella, and you watch Aladdin, everyone was agreed. Was absolutely. I told it was shit, Matty. The last film, it wasn't great. Too much CGI, wasn't great. We can get into that in a different podcast. But when I was a young fella and you're watching Aladdin for the first time, you fell in love with Princess Jasmine. Like, who didn't? So I thought, I'm going to go get this one done for the PC. Here it came. Right here. This actually got a perfect 10 Source.
Perfect 10.
And the title, I'm telling you, they must watch this show. The title of this card was Magda's next Google search. It got a perfect 10. It's not Princess Jasmine. So Magda, there you go. They must watch the show. It's your next Google search. That one there is for you, mate. Right here. Perfect 10. Cards are protected, Source. I'm pretty happy.
So you could go. How much does it cost to get 50 graded? Because that was a 50 pack that they sent you out.
Oh, 50 pack there. That there was. I think that cost me. I think it was $2.30.
Bargain.
How
good's that?
And look how good this is. Live on the show. Look at this. This is just glasses cleaner Source. And I had to do a test because I'm not going to tip water on it because I'm going to make a mess here and there's electricals around. But look at this. $2.50 for a whole packet of 50. So you work that out. $2.30 divided by 50, Source. If you've got a calculator there, we should do this because this is the extreme value you can get. $2.50. Where is it? $2.50 divided by 50. 5 cents to grade the card, Source. 5 cents. And look at this. 5 cents. You send your cards to PSA, all this shit. 5 cents. Look, watch. Watch this. Perfectly protected Source. Doesn't get much better than that, mate. For 5 cents, perfectly protected. And look at this. I can put it straight back in. Look at that. Straight back in. And look at this. Even better, Source. Even better. Watch this. Just wipe it. Wipe it down. Look at that. Perfectly clean. No more residue on my card. Also makes really good for a coaster as well at home. If you need a coaster.
Exclusive. Exclusive to Australia. You've cornered the market, Doma.
Corner the market.
You're the Otia Sports of Disney woolly cards. You've cornered the market. You've gone into your storage unit and you've pulled out the box where you've got the whole collection 50 times over.
Look how many more I've got to grade source. Look how many. It's raining money. It's raining. Look, it's raining money. Look at this.
He's cornered the market, ladies and
over.
gents.
I got, look at this, two
Well,
Thors.
they're not getting tens, mate. That's for sure.
No, the edging might be a bit cooked on these ones now. So anyway, Kurt's come kit. I'll bring them over to you. Use your kit.
There you go.
Use your kit.
Problem solved.
What can I say? I got nothing else
People
for you in hobby
Coles
talk.
builders. Why the hell won't people buy graded Disney?
I've got the first 4 graded Woolies cards on the market, mate. So I might actually put this up in a Disney group.
We should put it up and say, well, people were buying the Coles builders graded. What's the difference? This is a new grading company.
I might put it in. I'll get banned from the group, but shit happens. At least I'll tag the Messiah in it before. So we could have a laugh. Anyway, we thought we'd have a bit of fun with you, ladies and gentlemen. For those that didn't watch it, you probably don't want to watch it. But if you do, that's 5-cent grading, pretty much.
And if you don't know what we're referencing out, and obviously taking the mickey out of it's, idiots actually grading the Coles builders, Pokemon builders, and idiots on Facebook buying them. That's even the most ridiculous.
$110, ladies and gentlemen. What a graded Coles builder went for. $110. Unbelievable. Like, it's ridiculous. It's actually ridiculous. So, just proves the point. You can do shit with anything in the market. And realistically, if you want to protect your cards, you can actually just do this. Or put in a penny sleeve source. Put in a penny sleeve. Put in a top loader. What's the difference? Maybe someone should have told the Coles builder guy that you can buy actually thicker top loaders, so it would have fit straight in. Or you could have actually just put it in a one-touch. Like, funnily enough, like as stupid as that sounds, they could have actually put it in a one-touch.
Yeah, look, I don't have any explanation for it, and just
I don't either. Anyway, double coverage grading is now officially in business source.
Send them straight to Uncle Kenny, Global reckons.
Oh, shit, yeah. I'll send it to Jeff Wilson and just say, mate, you're going to pay me the bounty? I've got freaking some of the rarest cards on the planet here in my collection. Anyway, that was rubbish. Like, this is going straight in the bin. I'll keep the cards, but fuck. It just shows source. I tell you what, it's just ridiculous out there. It's actually ridiculous. Be smart, ladies and gentlemen. Be smart upstairs. Be smart with your money. Don't waste it on absolute rubbish. Yeah, you might love Pokemon and that's what you love, and you love all these types of things, and you want, like, I don't know, not iconic, but niche little things in your collection. I'm telling you, a Coles builder slabbed is not niche, man. If you're looking for a Coles builder, you want a Charizard, I'll go fish out all the doubles I got. I'll give it to you for free. If you're looking for a Coles and I have that Pokemon somewhere in the doubles or whatever, I'll give it to you for free, mate. Like, don't waste your money. Like $110. And like, I'm making a joke out of it. I'll actually go put it in a one-touch for you. If that's really what you want to protect it. Don't go spending money to grade a card and then try and flog it off to people that think it's worth something to add to their collection. Like, people in that group could have been from the state source, So I don't know what it is. I'm being serious. Like, anywhere else in the world, they don't know what it is. So they're like, oh, this is a sick piece. But little do they know there's literally 100,000 of them in production. And it costs 1 cent.
100,000. Keep going.
And the rest, well, it's every Coles all around the bloody country. So it's probably a lot more than 100,000.
Nuts.
Just be smart, ladies and gentlemen, please. If you don't know what you're doing in a certain market, please ask Source and I. If we can't direct you where to go, we'll direct you to someone that is experienced.
Yep.
Don't
sure.
go asking some spud in a Facebook group who's trying to sell rubbish for advice, because he's just going to sell you the pipe dream so he can sell his goods to you. Like, come on, man. Anyway, on that note, we thought we'd have a bit of fun. Anyway, Magda, I'm going to keep this one in here. I'm going to give this one to you when I see you. And if you want a Hugh Jackman rookie, I'll give this one to Matty Cams if I see you. I don't know when Matty Cams you're leaving. All the best anyway. But I'll keep this in the collection. 2.5 for this shit Deadpool Wolverine movie that just came out. It's terrible. And Saucer, you can have The Rock because he was your favorite all time. There you go. Done. On that note, keep living, loving, and breathing sport. I'm Dom with the Great Man Sauce. Whoop, it's double coverage. And peace.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.
Thank you for tuning in. Please don't forget to leave a review on the Apple Podcasting app. Also, follow us on socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. Talking all sports. Double curve.